Hello, welcome. I'm Allison Troy, Retro Toy Princess, and today I'm joined by Cory of Make Shape Create for what our third annual.
Right.
Let's get together and talk about Cory's channel.
I look at it more as a reason to catch up.
Well, that too, but I mean, you know, it's how it started. I was like, I want to talk to this guy about his channel. 3 years later, it's a thing. So really quickly, before we get into it, let's say hello to the chat. We have an Eldor. Hello, Eldor. Speaking of people who do amazing custom toy, amazing things.
Oh my god, yes. He does way better ones than I do. By far. I've been telling him forever that he needs to start a channel. And
well, he's got a channel. He just doesn't do a lot of. He used to, he does unboxings, but he doesn't do all of his amazing cardboard vehicles. I'm just throwing this out there, Eldor. Like, if you were to figure out a way to make patterns that you could sell to people, or they could cut their own cardboard and make them and tape them, people would buy that. So anyway, welcome, Eldor. Lovely to see you. You're amazing, as always. And then Stanley's Toy Channel. Hello, welcome. Lovely to see you. And CJ is here, and CJ is a channel member, so we got to greet our channel members properly.
Bring out the olive. Bring out the olive. Bring out the olive.
And enough champagne to fill the Nile.
I don't know why the hand gesture, I really liked Death on the Nile, even though we make fun of Gal Gadot a little bit for her terrible acting. But now I can't do that without doing the gesture she did at that part of the movie. Oh! It looks like a bunch of members. Sorry, Cory.
You're good.
Make our way. So CJ is here, and also, okay, what's happening? Kenzo's speaking of, again, amazing people who make amazing custom toys.
Yes.
Bring out the olive. Bring out the olive. Bring out the olive.
And enough champagne to fill the Nile.
There we go. Derek's here. Hi, Derek. Derek's also a member. I only have 7 members at this time, so 3 are out of the way.
Bring out the olive. Bring out the olive. Bring out the olive.
And enough champagne to fill the Nile.
All right, very good. Thank you, and I appreciate you, my members. So, and it's funny. It's chic. I like that we have the end joke. It's all started because of Cory, Cobweb Collector, sent me the old clip of the Maury thing with the olive lady.
Olives, yes.
I shared it because it was hilarious, and then Kenzo took a picture of himself at a store with olives, crying, and then we made memes, and it was a whole thing. So
I do remember that. That was funny.
Yeah, and then people were like, "I don't understand the olive thing," and it's like, "And you never will." And then I would send them the clip, and they're like, "You're laughing at that lady," and I'm like, "No, we're laughing at Maury screaming, 'Bring out the olives' to torment her." Uh-oh. Of course. Anyhow, all right. So with the not technicalities. With the
formalities.
With the that's the word I was looking for. Words are hard. With the formalities of the evening to rest, at least until the other members show up. We should talk about Cory at Make Shape Create. Let's see if I can do my Barbara Walters. Cory, if you were a tree, what kind of tree would... No, just kidding. So yeah, anyway, Cory, for those who don't know, many years ago, I started making YouTube videos. I know, like, who would have thunk?
Right.
And now that I'm getting set up, there will be custom toys, but originally there were going to be way more custom figures on my channel. So I was watching people doing custom toys, and Cory was one of my favorite creators. And then I was like, I should start interviewing my favorite creators, and I had him on, and we talked that first time for like 17,000 hours. And then he came back last year, and this is the third year. So that we can catch up and chat, and we can see what you've been up to. So, so that's the backstory for anyone wondering. Cory is my friend, and this is a ridiculous excuse that we have every year to sort of hang out. So.
It was kind of funny because, like, simultaneously, we both were wondering if we were doing this year, and I reached out to her. I was like, "Hey, are we doing that thing, again this year?" She's like, "It's already on my list to reach out to you." So
yeah,
like,
I had it's as everyone knows, because I don't stop talking about it. We bought a house, and there's a lot that comes with that. And I've been doing a lot of traveling. And Kenzo just gifted a membership. Thank you, Kenzo. Let's see who gets it. Somebody will get that. Amazing. I don't have anything. Well, no. Let's rephrase that. Let's see, what can we find? Oh, here we go.
Everybody's so creative. Everybody's so creative.
You're a mess, Carl. You're a mess, Carl.
There we go. That's thank you so much. Oh my God, my other channel got my all right, there we go. Well, I can now go watch my member only. That's hilarious. Oh my God. Anyway, so yeah, because I have my other channel that I don't really do a whole lot with. So anyway, that feels. Anyhow, so Cory, I feel like I'm a politician now, suffering from nepotism or something. All right, so I made this lovely thumbnail with all of your stuff on it, because you make cool toys, obviously. And for anyone here who's not subscribed to Cory, I definitely recommend it. You do a custom action figure video every week still, correct?
I try to get one out a week. I'm not going to have one this week.
Okay.
But I usually go for, like, I try to do at least three a month, but I did have like a good stretch from like February till September where I had one a week, which anyone who puts out something every week will tell you that can like wear on you really quickly. So like I'm kind of, just taking a week off here and there now because it's getting into the holidays and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm just need to let the creative juices come back.
Well, well, like you make, shape, and create,
right?
And there's a process. I mean, like if you have to dye something, you have to let paint dry. You have to, depending on what sculpting materials, there's a drying time, and like the epoxy air dry stuff is better because that is less. Sculpey is amazing, and you can get some great detailing on Sculpey, and it's nice and soft. But Sculpey crumbles really easy over time, so like it's not the best for a long. 10 years later, your Sculpey action figure might, if you're lucky enough to make it 10 years with it. Right. So it takes a while. Like no, it's understandable. You're also 3D printing items now, correct?
I do some. I do not 3D model, unfortunately. I need to learn how to do it. I actually bought a class. Okay. I am not very good at just sitting and learning something. Hence why I came to YouTube, because I do better when someone's showing me how to do something, not someone's telling me how to do something. Like written directions, I can just throw them out. That's not going to ever work for me. I'm sure I got like dyslexia or something like that, but so that being said, I do some 3D printing. I've gotten a bunch of stuff from like Mega Custom X and other ones on Cult 3D that are awesome. But one of these days I will learn how to model myself, and then I'll be unstoppable.
Right. Why don't I mean Kenzo does a lot of 3D. He does. Kenzo
Yeah.
doesn't. I don't think model himself yet.
I think he does some.
I think
I don't.
a little. Mostly
Yeah.
though, he's been buying.
Mhm.
Because again, time and work. So
Yes. Those are those things that unfortunately keep us from working or from doing this full time.
I know there are times I'm sitting here because this is my office / studio / collection room, doing my day job, just thinking the whole time, if only I could be making videos right now, everything would be superb. And Andrew from Gady's Toys is here. Andrew is not a member, but
No.
all right, here we go. Got a shout out. So we should get to it because, as we have learned in previous years, if we don't at least try to stay on point,
You and I will get talking.
yeah, it digresses worse than like, yeah, I can't even. So anyway, I've ordered the slides a bit. We're gonna start with what I've been calling your ultimate action figure collection this year, where you've been making sort of the ultimate versions of Masters of the, and pretty much everything this year, at least what we're going to look at, has been Masters of the Universe. And even the stuff that you've done that isn't, the one figure you did this year that isn't Masters of the Universe is still Origins form factor. So for those wondering, everything today is either Masters of the Universe or Origins form factor, with a special guest from a different, which based on recent developments, we might actually get an Origins. Go figure. We'll address that as well. But we will start with your Ultimate Sorceress.
This was I did this very end of last year, actually. And it was one of those things where I wanted the video to come out and I needed it quick. And so I did like 3 one-day customs. And to be fair, I did all 3 in one day.
Yeah.
Because they were just like pop and swap parts and stuff like that. The hardest one was the Skeletor one that was in that video, which I had to use a Scareglow and remove all the paint from. But it was just cutting the head sculpt down so it would fit that piece from April O'Neil, and then putting the wings on, and she was done. But she just looked so much better with those big wings than these little puny ones that she comes with that like she can't sit down with or anything like that. And it's just, I don't know. I don't think anyone's ever liked those wings on her, even on the vintage ones, and they work the same way.
Well, I mean, at least with the Origins one, the arms are like the extra posability makes her better.
Yeah.
But just this is one of the figures where it's like the fact that they stuck so closely to the original vintage figure, like kind of, in my humble opinion, defeated sort of the concept of Origins, just like vintage, but with modern posability because of the way the wings were constructed. Granted, the wings on this one were better than vintage and were easier to work with. At least the side wings, the butt wing.
Yeah, the tail wing isn't doing good. It's it just needs to be able to rotate out of the way and to be fine.
Or to be, I don't know, like even if they had done it as like a fabric piece, that silk screen fabric they use because Mattel is cheap these days. But she actually also looks really good. Like this is a good. I mean, it definitely like sort of an easier custom, but it also just looks really good. Like, and the fact
sometimes like I made a video earlier this year also that was kind of like how I customize type thing, and it was kind of like a cheat sheet, so to speak.
Yeah.
And, like a lot of it is just finding the right figure to start with, and if you find the right figures to start with, you can do a lot of this in like no time.
Yeah.
Like it's when you have to paint or when you have to dye or something like that it takes a little longer. But if you already find, and as we get more figures, we're getting more and more colors.
Yeah.
So if you've already got all the colors of everything you need, it's literally popping and swapping, and then you're done. And it's like, hey, look, I got this figure. I just had to add wings or add a different head or whatever. And when you do that, it makes it so much easier. And like eventually I'm going to have to start doing some like hard stuff. And
right. Well, also there's definitely times where you should quick and easy is fun sometimes too.
Mm-hmm.
And then you did sort of an upgrade of Sunman.
Yep, this was in the same video. Again, this was kind of the same basic idea. I just literally had to modify the hole for the armor to fit over the origins, and that was literally the only thing I had to do to him. I think it fit right on after that, and he just looked so much better.
And then you did use the Masterverse head on there as well. So
because like the head he came with kind of looks goofy. Like I understand that's like the way he looked when in the vintage character. And
well, and it also like when people say that on social media, and then they're like it's on a post by OMAC or by the Sunman people, I kind of because the original Sunman head sculpt was modeled off of Wyla's son. The one with so it kind of looks like he did. I mean, again, he doesn't. He looks. I think that's where sort of the why that sculpt looks a little weird because it's basically a kid face on an adult head body. But like when people are not discreet about how it looks so goofy or whatever, like the rudeness of it. It's like literally it's her son that she made the toy for. You guys should be learn your history, people. But it is not the best head sculpt. So
no, like the one they did a second one. It was the 3-pack from Target. Head sculpt on that one is better. The only problem is it's the exact same head sculpt they use for like Space Sumo, and then they use it for someone else.
Kick 2.
Yeah, so it's like, well, that's no longer.
Which it wasn't as noticeable for Space Sumo just because of the skin tone differences, but it was for Kick 2 because it's the same head, same skin tone. But I think just since it's me and we're here, the toy history of it was Kick 2 was never actually released.
There's last 3 weren't, right?
The last Kick 2, Duplico, and Zapman.
There was another one too, like Karate or something like that. I don't know. I got him here somewhere. I don't know.
It would. Kick 2, Zapman, and Duplico were never released. I think maybe Hypno wasn't the Hypnotic Man.
Oh yeah.
No, wait, he was because I've seen the rest of them were, but it was like maybe he wasn't. Either way, but what happened was because Kick 2 never got. Holographo was released.
Oh, was he? Okay.
He was one of the first ones released. Because I remember seeing him in the store and wanting him. I really wanted him in Duplico. Oh gosh, I'm forgetting. What's the one with the glow in the dark armor? The mathematical genius. Gosh, why I'm spazzing. The Latin American one.
Chat, tell us. Shadow, tell us.
Yeah, somebody in chat will know. Oh my gosh.
I have them. I have 2 of them.
I've got multiples of them because I'm going to do one as oh god, I can't believe I'm
like Multiplico or something or Multiple.
It's Digitino. Digitino.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah, Digitino. Because I'm going to do a El Dorado with him and then Vibe from Justice League. So I have a couple extras. So I wanted him as a kid because I saw him in the store and I wanted Holographo. Sunman I didn't want as much, and Pighead I was just like, Pighead is no. Thank you, CJ. It took us. You would think that we were a punk with toys and knew nothing about Masters of the Universe. Sorry.
Right.
Instead of I don't have my Motu stuff set up. So anyhow, this looks really good. But anyway, that's the story of the head because it was sculpted for Kick 2 and Space Sumo. But since they ended up not releasing Kick 2, They just used it for the refresh of
Right.
Sunman, since they were already doing a couple, making it with spacesuit. Just again, it's the economy of toys. It's like a repaint is easier. You're doing 10,000 heads like halfway through. When it's time to change the paint, you change it to be a completely different, change the plastic and the paint to a different character. Actually, it would have just been the paint as well. I mean, the plastic. So it's an even easier, but that's why, like, especially for Olmec, because it was such a small company and it was completely indie. Like, she didn't have she may have had investors, but she wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't like Mattel was kicking it in. Mattel basically was pissed at her for. Suddenly, the next year they make Clamp Champ, and add Natasha to Princess of Power. Anyway, next, your Ultimate Mosquitor, who is super cool. What parts did you use here?
Well, I used all of Mosquitor. The tubes and the stuff were syringes.
Okay.
With some food coloring. That's all the blood is food coloring. And the tubes are medical tubes. And just the little arm things are popsicle sticks and skewers glued together and painted. And then some foam for the wings. But, or no, it wasn't foam. It was MDF sheets that I cut on the bandsaw. But I really like the way that the Staction, the 2000X Staction looked.
Yeah.
But like we never got a figure of it.
Right.
And like the classics one kind of like homaged it a little bit with the little arms and stuff like that. But I really liked the idea of those tanks. So I would make my own. And this wasn't a real popular one on my channel, but I was really happy with the way it turned out.
YouTube is so weird about, I think he's really cool. Like, I really like the weapon that you made for him. Like,
yeah,
it looks.
I took an extra head and like cut his nose off and attached it to the end of his gun, and then made the blood thing on the back and looped it around. But yeah, my luck in like 10 years they'll leak all over the floor or something.
It reminds me a little bit of the Xenomorph from Aliens, just the way it looks, and of course that's one of my favorite designs. So he's really cool. Like, he has 2000X style, so we might get him at some point. Like, we're in 2000X,
right?
And then we have Fur Skirt He-Man.
I did pull some of these out, so that I could show them.
I'm going to make you. I'm going to put you.
This
I'm
was
going to embiggen you.
Him and the Skeletor were ones that like we were getting those Stranger Things crossovers, and like the colors on them I think matched the vintage ones way better than the Origins ones. And I get the Origins ones were supposed to be a little brighter and stuff like that, and that's totally fine. But for a lot of us who wanted like a classic He-Man, this is as close as we got. Well, then I don't know, I just was like, the only way you can make this better was to actually give him a fur skirt. And like the only way you could really make the Skeletor better was to actually give him the blue feet and the right fix. I mean, the to be fair, the paint on this head was already better than the first one we got. The first one we got looked like he had like a 13-year-old's mustache growing in over his teeth, and like couldn't grow a beard, and he just like left the peach fuzz. I don't understand what they were doing with that paint app at all, but it was horrible. This one looks so much better. But then just to give him that side paint like he had, before, I think just added something. And then, making the 2000X feet match, like, I don't know. They just look so much better to me, and I really like them. The only thing that sucks is that, like, I super glued this on, and so over time, it's kind of gotten a little white in there from this. But I can fix it. I just haven't done it.
Sort of oxidizes.
Yeah. But I'm really happy with them.
Hot glue. Hot glue is your friend.
Oh, I didn't think about that. I have 8 of them. I just never use them.
I play a lot of when you. I recommend. I think I don't know if I have. There's a It's like Poppin Atelier. I believe I'm pronouncing it correctly. She does doll customs where she, like she reroutes them and she transforms them into different characters. And she will use a lot of hot glue because, for that reason, super glue does even like a good Gorilla Glue will, when it comes to like furs or fabrics, will start oxidizing if it's depending on what kind it is. So, anyway, and there's the Skeletor, of course.
Yeah, he just changing those feet alone made a big difference. And like, you don't really notice it a whole lot, but like the people that do, and it just, I don't know, I think it adds to it.
That's a nice touch. Well, what's kind of exciting is sort of the feet that are the Red Shadow that's coming out next week has them, but it was also on the Splinter for turtles. Like those sort of like bony animal feet will be really cool for Skeletor and like Beastman. So and then your Man-at-Arms looks also really good.
This one is one that I love, that 2000 or that Lords of Power head.
Yeah,
like that Mark Taylor first design head. I've always loved the like conquistador helmet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I love the armor, the bigger, chunkier armor of classics, and we got a lot of those with the masters of the WWE.
Yep.
So like I was able just to dye these and dye the weapon, and then this is actually a classics armor piece that I mean, it took a little doing, but it fits.
Yeah.
That's one cool thing about the classic stuff is it does fit Origins. It just might be a little tight. But and I went back and forth on whether to give him a mustache or not, because the Lords of Power one does not have a mustache.
Yeah, it does not.
Anyone who watched Filmation knows Man-at-Arms has a mustache. And so like you need a mustache. And I love him. I think he's great. Like I'm a big fan of the bigger mace. I don't really like the little mace he always comes with.
Yeah.
It's just so wimpy. Where this one's just like, he's going to rock someone's shit with this.
Pretty good. I need to get one of the, I think it's the new Eternia Man-at-Arms that has the original Mark Taylor mace. So I haven't been buying anything for customs because where am I going to put it?
Right. That one looks good in the new vintage collection one.
Yep.
Looks really good too. I haven't gotten it yet, but I've been trying to get all those. I like those a lot.
I'm hoping that now that they're doing Mark Taylor versions in Sketchbook series, that we'll get the Paladin version of Man-at-Arms, but I'm also hoping we get an Alcala Man-at-Arms from the mini comic where he has sort of the dark green ochre where it almost looks brown skin, and it of course has the fur around the, but I want the big bulky red Beastman. I want the Alcala Tila, proper Alcala goddess / sorceress, since the repainted Tila one is not quite there.
The Paladin is one that I am going to be working on.
Oh, nice. Soon. Well, he would be easier to do with some of the pieces from the Thundercats Panther, like the grill from that. You have to build it onto something, but the grill from that looks really close to the Paladin grill. So, and then we have Mark. This is very Mark Taylor B-sheet Stratos.
I think he's right here. I have him somewhere. The problem is that I do not have any of my customs organized.
Right.
Oh, never mind. Here he is. And so it's like finding them when you want them type thing.
Right. There we go. There you go.
Yeah, like this, a lot of these I've been finding that like I have been seeing a lot of like Adam's post and him posting the concept artwork or whatever, and just sometimes the way he posted or the way anyone else posted will just kind of be like, oh, I can make that.
Right.
relatively easily. And this was literally, I just took the naked Stratos that everybody had too many of and was on peg shelves forever. And actually, Big Bad Toy Store has it for $3 right now. So
nice.
Just saying that. But literally, I used him, and then I just modified the harness and made my own little neck piece. And I painted my own eyes because if you look at that artwork, he's got big eyes. It's not like just blacked over. But then I added just a little bit of super glue to kind of give it the gloss.
Yeah, because you can't tell if it was that his eyes are big or if the goggles, he's got goggles amplifying them.
Right. But I mean, and then adding Skelra's feet.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I love them. I think it made a big difference. Like, I'm super happy with them.
And really quick, Sight Beyond Sight is here, who is a member, so we got to do one thing when members are here.
Bring out the off. Bring out the off. Bring out the off.
And enough champagne to fill the Nile.
There we go. All right, welcome, Sight Beyond Sight. Thanks for popping in. And really quick, and agreed. It's funny because they did it to a degree and then lost sight of it. I don't know where the shift happened, because there was a point where they were doing, the Lords of Power that they launched with. All 4 of those were very close, and for some reason I don't know, it doesn't make sense. And then really quick, I missed this one earlier. I apologize, Eldor. Yeah, it's possible that they might. I'm going to assume that the stactions and all of those are on the table. A big part of Mattel's philosophy with especially He-Man stuff and Masters of the Universe, is trying to stuff that was made by other companies, them making it now so that they can secure the trademark and the rights to it. So, and Mint with Card is here. So also a member. Sorry, Cory.
Bring out the off. Bring out the off. Bring out the off.
And enough champagne to fill the Nile.
I need to get my champagne glass so that I can. No champagne in it, because that would ruin the carpet in here. And splash the toys. But welcome. I think that's all the members.
Nice. Got a full house.
Yeah, I think everyone has cycled through tonight. So lovely, and lovely to see you, Mint with Card. Yeah, so Mint with Card, everyone has. If you've not subscribed, go subscribe. Anyway, I'll drop the link in a little bit. So Stratos, super cool. And then your big chonky beast man.
So this was one I was planning on making, but I was not planning on making them this way initially.
Yeah.
Me and Oz had gone to our local toy store, Eternia Dream, which, if you're ever in the Maryland area, they have 2 locations in Westminster and Frederick, and they are amazing. They're the best toy store I've ever been to since Toys R Us. That being said, I wasn't originally going to do it this way, and Oz was like, "Nah, he should be bigger." Like on the Andre the Giant body, and it just sparked my imagination. I'm like, you know what, you're right. But originally I was going to sculpt all this fur, and it was like, it just wasn't working. So I just did a little bit on the arms and a little bit on the shins, and then used acrylic paint markers to kind of give them that color difference or whatever. And I'm really happy with the way he turned out. I kind of wish I would have had the head matched just a little better, but on all, I'm happy with them. The armors, the Masterverse armor, I think. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes. I had to think about it.
Yeah.
When you do like 70 of these in a year, like they all kind of blend together. So trying to remember specific details of each one kind of gets a little hard. But
where the parts come from.
People really like this one. This was one of my more popular ones on the video, which I honestly was. I was kind of surprised, but at the same time, it was like, I don't know why I was surprised. Like, it's Beastman. Like, people love Beastman.
I'm sure you've shown Alan at Vine Jungle, right?
Yes, he's been on the live. I think when I
Okay.
saw him.
Because that
Yeah.
he's all about the beast. So I know he would enjoy it.
I actually got to meet him in person last weekend,
Ooh,
which was very nice. At
awesome.
Legion Con, me and Oz just went up for the day, and I got to meet a lot of people who I've only ever seen in like squares on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
So
Really quick, the weapon he has, is that from Turtles of Grayskull?
no, that's the Masterverse one.
It's a master. Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, and then we have an Ultimate Tila.
Yep. This was one of two that I did. And like I've said it before, and I'm going to keep saying it. This Tila head sculpt from Cartoon Collection is the best, my favorite one. It's the best one I think Mattel has put out in probably ever. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say for me ever. She is gorgeous. But like I did not like. I haven't been 100% happy with any of the figures, and so this was just kind of a way to make the best with a couple different things. And originally, I was just going to have one figure that both could, the armor and stuff like that could pop and swap. But then when I gave her this big collar, armor didn't really fit around it, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just make two different ones. So I got this one, and then I just made the snake head part of the head, and I think it looks way better. And that was kind of inspired by Rebecca McDonald, the way she did, because she did it as a helmet and like a collar, and I'm like, that would work so much better, and it does. So yeah, I'm super happy with both of these, and this is just the armor from her just cut up and glued to her. And then the little piece that comes down, I moved down and then added pieces with foam.
Yeah.
And just did a little bit of a brighter gold. And this one I didn't really do a whole lot other than add the armor and add the head. But once you do that, you don't really need to do a whole lot. So.
And that's that's cool.
The whole little line for me.
And that's again right there.
Yeah, I think that head just looks so much better with the snake.
It'll be interesting to see what the head sculpt for the 2000X Tila looks like.
Yeah.
I'm hoping at some point we get an origin scale vintage Tila head, because that's my favorite Tila head sculpt, is the original 1982 one. So, one day. And then we've got your Battle Cat.
This was one, I don't remember exactly what video it was, and I wish I did because it would be amazing. But a while ago, I had seen a video where people had taken the Battle Cat and added articulated ankles. And this was before Cringer came out.
Yeah.
And I was like, one of these times I'm going to get around to doing that. And I just never did until Cringer came out. And then I'm like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and do that. And so I did. And I'm so glad I did, but like it was some work doing. Like I literally had to mutilate both of them to get it to work, and then like sculpt it in and feather in the sculpt with milliput and stuff like that. And then once you painted it, you cannot tell. I can't even tell, and I did it where it's where one starts and the other one ends. But I went with the metallic paint just because I don't know. I think right around this time, the Panther had come out, the Masterverse Panther.
Yeah.
And the metallic fur on him looked really cool. And I'm like, I'm getting a metallic green. But I even redid the face paint on him. And I got a lot of flack for that because people are like, tigers have pupils, not slits like cats. And I'm like, oh, well, I didn't know that. I didn't do any research.
Right. Well, not only that, but he's not really a tiger. I mean, technically, but I mean, he's already a green tiger.
Right. It's like, you know what? I'm happy with it, but I do wish I would have done that little bit of research. But at the same time, I think if you look at like him in the cartoon, does he have slits in the cartoons? I don't know. I've never looked.
We never see him without the mask, so we don't really know.
Yeah.
I don't know. People get weird about the weirdest stuff. I had somebody on one of my Beetlejuice coloring shorts was like, his hair is not that color. His hair is this color. And I'm like, this is cartoon Beetlejuice. Cartoon Beetlejuice has different color hair. Or like somebody over on TikTok. I just blocked the bitch because I'm like, nope. But she jumped on one of my Goonie shorts and she was like, it was the Sean Astin Mikey one. She's like, his hair is brown. And it's like, when he was in the Goonies, like his hair had way more of, it was more auburn, which is reddish. And that's what I gave him. And then I had even done a like, well, here's my, reference. And then I'm like, no, fuck, F that bitch. And just deleted her comment, blocked her. I'm like, I don't need it. So really quick, hello, Hella Geek. And Hella Geek will be here with me tomorrow morning on the Sunday stream coloring G.I. Joe. So for everyone who wonders all about Hella Geek, pop in because I'm going to grill him. No, just kidding. But Hella Geek has a very interesting life. So I'm sure there will be a lot of fun things to talk about. So, but we're not going to talk about that now. But everyone, come tomorrow. Come hang out with me and Hella Geek. Learn all about Hella Geek. And then your Triclops.
This was one that was actually, I think, suggested in a comment.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I didn't really like some of these. I had like a idea or things I wanted to improve about. And Triclops was not one of them. Triclops was one that I didn't. I don't want to say that I don't like Triclops, but like he's not like my top 10 favorite character.
Right.
Nothing against him, just like he's got a spinning eye thing. Like, like, okay, cool. When it comes in terms of the gimmicks of that toy line, this was not the best one.
Right.
Fair enough. But I was like, what? The Masterverse one, I think I found on sale somewhere. The New Eternia one. Right. And I was like, I'll get this, and I'm sure I can use some of those parts. And I just kind of sat on it for a little while, and it was like, you know what? I need a video. Let me just do this.
Yeah.
And I just did it on the fly. I did not have a plan. And it was, I took the loincloth, glued it to this one, modified the harness because it had to be a little thinner.
Yeah.
To fit around the waist, painted a couple things, and shortened this whatever.
Yeah.
Shay, I don't know what they're called.
The sheath.
Sheath. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I love it. It turned out great. Again, this is one that people did not really like a whole lot, but that's okay.
Right.
But I think it turned out really well.
I think you didn't like it, or are you just going to get a ton of views? Because those are two different things altogether.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, everyone who watched it liked it. But yeah.
Yeah. YouTube has been weird lately, so
Yeah.
Well, part of it is if you have ad blocker, they don't count the view anymore. So when you look in your stats and you'll see like a 0 next to something that somebody's watched it, but they had an ad blocker. So anyway, that's why views are down. This is here because he has very much a 2000X flavor to him, if you will, and which sort of leads to something we caught last year when you were here, that a bunch of the stuff you customize every year ends up getting announced by Mattel pretty quickly, which brings us to your Mark Taylor Manny Faces, which recently was announced as a sketchbook series release.
Yes. This is and I think we talked about this last year I said this last year when we talked about it, but as you make characters that weren't made in the initial release, you're gonna run into this, right? You're gonna run into characters that either you want made that they haven't got around to making, but they do, or like at the time, I would never have thought that they would have made this because they only put out like I think 2 sketchbook ones. No, 3, because they did the 2-pack and then and Cyclone didn't have any of the gimmicks or anything like that, so it was like, okay, well they did, but they kind of went half-ass on them, and so it's like, they probably aren't continuing this. And then now we're getting like 2 or 3 more, and I've loved this design since I first saw it. It's got a very Egyptian feel to it. But this was one that like I literally broke the figure apart because I thought the head I could just pull the head off some way.
No.
And I got the Masters of the WWE one because that one you can just pop the head off. And modify the head inside. And I was like, nah, these are like two totally different figures.
Yeah.
Like these don't interchange at all. And so I just ended up like, you know what? I'm just going to repaint, resculpt, remodify, just go from there. Well, it worked out fine. I'm super happy with it. But it is funny. I want to say maybe like a month later, they teased the new one.
Yeah.
And like I'm fine with it. The cool thing about it is that like that's like the Castle Grayskull back there I made. Like they got that coming out next month, and some people already have. And I'm looking forward to getting it so I can be like, look what I did that they didn't, and I have a warehouse worker's budget, and they have a corporation behind them.
Yeah, like, you know, like but there's also the difference that you have a warehouse budget. But you're also not mass producing it. There are many things you would have to change if any of the things you're creating were mass produced.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, like that's I think one of I often hear that when people are like, the fans are doing better work, and it's like when you can 3D print when you're 3D printing one at a time or whatever, it's a little different than a big factory. Like
one thing though, and just because. I know I reached out to you and you directed me towards Adam because that one had a different artwork on the rug or the trap door inside. And so I had to go off it and kind of create my own.
Yeah.
And you kind of see online now what the new one looks like, which isn't exact, but like I got pretty close to what they came up with. It's not one for one, but it's pretty close. Like for me going off a picture that was this big and from the 80s and grainy, I'm kind of pleased with it.
If it were me, I would scan that, clean it up, and then stick it on your community tab as a downloadable option for people so they could print it on sticker paper and put it in their castle.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah. Actually, I have it scanned because I printed out a sticker for it, so I can do it. It's easy.
Yeah, I would. It's little stuff like that you can do. Anyway. Because I know there are a lot of people who are going to want different rugs, different options.
I've thought about doing a couple lives where I do the play mat we're going to get with that one.
Yeah.
Just in case people want the play mat but don't want to spend $110 for another castle.
Yeah.
And then, maybe I'm kind of looking into how much it would be to make like a run of prints or something like that of the right size. That like people could maybe buy or something like that, but
people love stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of things that you made that Mattel has now made, Swift Wind.
I was super happy with this, but theirs is way better. I'm not even going to deny it. I'm not even going to complain about it. Theirs is way better. But the cool thing about this is that we'd only gotten 2 Steeds. We've still only gotten 3.
Yeah.
I'm not counting Stridor because technically he's Stridor and Night Stalker are technically Fisto and I guess but like they're not really. I don't know. I there's so many horses they could make, and now that they have this sculpt, I don't see why they aren't.
We need
Origins or Massverse because it kind of fits both. But this was the wings off of a McFarlane. I don't know the character's name. He's like an angel. Yeah. I got him free at PowerCon.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, they're the same wings that are on the Hawkman and stuff like that.
Here you go, CJ. CJ is interested.
Nice. Okay. Well.
And CJ, she just went and subscribed to your channel, so.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
But this was a horse I got off of Temu, I think, or no, Alibaba or whatever, for like $13 or whatever.
Nice.
And it's the right size and stuff like that. And now that I got a proper Origins one,
Right.
I think this one might end up becoming Scaremare.
Nice.
So, because I was already kind of planning on making that, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm buying our horse now. Okay, I can just modify this one, which I've done a couple times now. Now that with us talking about this, as they make stuff that like I had already made customs of, once I get the real one, sometimes I'll recycle the parts.
Yep.
Into custom.
One of my first customs was Wondar.
Yep.
And once I got my official Wondar, I just did some pop and swaps with other characters to reconfigure it.
Mm-hmm. I've done that with a lot of them. Like Wondar was one. There was another one I can't remember. When I did the new versions of He-Man and Skeletor, which I think you have on the list somewhere. That Skeletor was the same one I did for the one day customs with the two we started with. And I just redid armor, redid a different head, did this, but it was totally reusing what I already had. Largo, what's up?
And then again,
like this was one that was like I was trying to come up. So anyone who didn't know, I did a She-Ra month, and all month long for She-Ra, I did She-Ra customs, and I think I did 12 videos that month.
Something like that.
Was like 2 a week. I think there was 1 or 2 weeks where I had 3. It was crazy. But one of them was Bo, because he was one that I had on my list, and this was before it was announced. And literally, I think I put this out, and like the next day or the next week, they announced Cartoon Collection Bo, and I was like, son of a...
It was because I remember I think I even mentioned in the comments of that video, it's like, oh, I bet they announce him next week.
Yes, and they literally did. It was crazy, but I mean, I'm happy with the way he turned out. It was not hard to make them. I think I used the head from a Rowdy Piper from the WWE Superstars. The bow is two those plastic floss picks or whatever put together and glued, and then the arrows a bamboo skewer with foam on it. Like
nice.
So it's just, like the name you gave me, it's just MacGyvering shit together. That's all I do is MacGyver shit together. And like that's part of the fun is when you find like, what can I make this out of that other people would not have thought of?
Well, and he would be fairly easy to rework it either into a toy accurate bow or even into Seahawk. So,
yeah.
So I mean, Seahawk, basically a headband and slightly darken the orange of the hair and the beard, and you're there. Like, do a like brown wash over it.
Right. New armor.
And you can even use an extra Prince Adam vest for Seahawks vest. So like 100%. There you go. There's a video in the next couple of months, repurposing my old figures into new things. And then we'll get Seahawk announced. So
right.
Do it, Cory. I need a Seahawk. And speaking of your She-Ra month, this is for people who don't know. William Stout, who did some of the designs for the Masters of the Universe movie. He did most of what ended up on screen, but some of it also was Ralph McQuarrie, and there are a few other Mobius designed some stuff. But this was William Stout, and he originally She-Ra was in the script, and then they cut her out of the script. But this was the William Stout design for what She-Ra's on-screen costume would be for the 1987 Masters of the Universe film.
This was one that I hadn't seen until I saw the cosplay that Becca had done, who did an amazing job, by the way. She always does. But like I saw it and I'm like, what the hell is this? Yeah. And kind of went down the rabbit hole. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. And like this was just using a China head, sculpting onto it, and then I think the arms and the body was the Cartoon Collection She-Ra or Tila rather.
Yeah.
And then just sculpting onto it. The little belt piece is the Turtles of Grayskull.
Tila. Yep.
Tila, and I just modified it. And then adding some foam like I always do and stuff like that, and then just some paint. But this one I was really happy with. I had a couple people reach out to me and really like this one.
Yeah, she's really cool. And that was part of your month of She-Ra. It's true.
Oh yeah, for Burger King. Yep.
So I was happy that you did and the head sculpt for the Origin She-Ra actually works really well for the Princesses of Power She-Ra.
Mm-hmm.
Like she looks really like the head sculpt is perfect. Like it's a perfect blend between sort of her look on the cartoon and sort of translating that into a toy. I really liked this. I thought, and that those are Turtles of Grayskull Sorceress April boots, right?
Yes, it's those boots. The chest is the regular She-Ra, but I just kind of like sanded it down, filled in some milliput, and kind of added the shoulder things. And the skirt is obviously Cartoon Collection She-Ra.
Yeah.
Skirt. The sword was 3D printed. I had to find a print of it, and I think you got the other one too. But I found both of them for this one and then the later season one, and just print them both at the same time. But like this one, I was not aware of how much some stupid people don't like this series, and I say
there are a lot of
that way for a reason. Because it's a fucking cartoon. Like, if I get that there are some, and excuse me for a second if I go on a soapbox, I am sorry that there are some homophobic people out there that are afraid that their true feelings are going to come out because they support something or say something's okay and or whatever. Like, get the fuck over yourself and like, who cares? It's if you don't like a cartoon, or you don't like a movie, or you don't like a music, or you don't like a toy, or you don't like this, don't get it. Don't watch it. Don't listen to it. Don't see it. But I learned a long time ago that not everything is made for everyone. Yeah. Not everything's made for me. And it's okay that I don't like stuff. But it is not okay for me to shit on something that someone else does.
Well, my sort of I obviously agree with all of that. But for me, like, I knew it was going to be a shit show with the new She-Ra whenever the early art hit. And people were like, she's not sexy enough. And I'm like, she's supposed to be 15 or 16. She shouldn't be.
Right.
You shouldn't have boobies and stuff. It's like She-Ra in the original cartoon was like only 18. Like,
right. Now, I will say that, like, that art style is not my favorite.
Yeah.
But that's not to say, like, oh, she needs to be sexier. There's like a string of cartoons now that have very similar art styles that I personally am not the biggest fan of. I like more, as an artist, I like stuff that has a little more detail and a little more of this. Now, I also understand that to animate something a little cheaper, you have to take out detail. You know, Batman the Animated Series did it. And so, like, as someone who just said they like something that's a little more detailed, a little more realistic, Batman the Animated Series is one of my favorite cartoons of all time. If not my favorite cartoon of all time, which is not detailed at all. So it is what it is. It's fine. But like, I'm also not like Jim and the Holograms. Like, that's also to say, like, I'm not a big anime person because, like, all of the animation to me kind of looks alike, because not all of it, but a lot of it looks very much alike. And my friends tease me about it, like, oh, does this look like that too? I'm like, it does. But that's okay. I think like it. Yeah, but at the same time, I don't shit on it.
But again, I think that's part of the problem, is there are people who are mad.
Yeah.
She wasn't sexy enough, but she's a kid. She's only 15. I think she's 16 when it ends, I believe. Because I think there's a birthday in there, but I'm pretty sure she starts as a 15 or maybe 16 and then 17 when it ended. Either way, she's a child in the
Yeah.
cartoon. But that's part of her overall story arc. And for all the people who like hated it with a passion and for reasons, what I will say is what I have found is the She-Ra and the Princesses of Power did a much better job than any of the modern He-Man stuff has done about getting a newer, younger audience interested in She-Ra.
Yeah.
The kids loved it, and ultimately that's because if you go on Etsy and look for
Oh my God, those
She-Ra
figures
stuff,
are expensive.
yeah,
I wanted to get one, and I was like, that was my original idea. Was like, oh,
Yep.
maybe they made like figures or whatever.
Super 7 dropped the ball there.
Like that? Nope.
Nope. I've got the one doll, and then I have the San Diego Comic-Con She-Ra and Shadow Weaver behind. It's not set up yet.
I think
I
the
have
cheapest
those,
one I
and
found that was missing parts was like 100 and something.
Yeah, the 12-inch dolls are, and the figures, forget about it. Mattel and Super 7 dropped the ball on the She-Ra cartoon. But if you go on Etsy, there's a lot of stickers and cosplay, and the kids are way more into that stuff than they are into like actual toys.
Yeah.
So in that capacity, like if you go and pay attention, the kids still are. There's There's way more fan fiction for this show than there is for the original She-Ra. And that's not saying it's better then. It just means the kids like the new She-Ra better than they like the old She-Ra. And that's good, because that means She-Ra gets another 5 to 10 years when all the finger quote the kids who dug it 5 to 10 years, when they get nostalgic for it, then we'll get some more She-Ra stuff. Like
Yep.
this is how an actual property, like we're all sort of G.I. Joe is the perfect example. The old G.I. Joe, the action, what was it? It wasn't Action Force. It was
Real American Heroes.
Yeah, Real American Hero, but that was like a reboot of G.I.
Oh
Joe.
yeah, because you had the original one that was just G.I. Joe.
Yeah,
and they were I think there were 11, but whatever, figures.
There was like Super Force isn't right, but he went through a phase where it was like an action team set up, where it was still sort of the 12-inch action figure doll for boys, with him in different roles. It wasn't military, and then they rebooted it in 3 3/4 as Real American Hero, and that's kind of where G.I. Joe has been, which is to say, like, what I tried to break down for a few of the people who are really shitty about the new She-Ra thing is like, it's the same. Picture if your dad had said, that's not G.I. Joe, this is G.I. Joe, and not got, and complained
My
about
mom
it.
did that.
So, like,
not in a shitty way, but I had some G.I. Joes. I mean, I grew up in the 80s. Of course I had some G.I. Joes. You know what I mean? It was not my favorite. But I had G.I. Joes just like everyone else. I couldn't tell you which ones now because I'm not that guy. But I do remember fondly that, the whole time mom's like, when I was a kid, G.I. Joes were 12 inches and blah, blah. Now you got these little things and blah. Yes. So I knew that. But
all I remember was G.I. Joe was boys. And all of a sudden there was a girl and she had a crossbow. And I was like, that's cool. I'm in. So anyway, long story short, super cool She-Ra. And speaking of, you did also, which again I really liked, you did her second look where she powers up.
Yep.
And I think second to last season, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. This one was like, honestly, I kind of like this design better.
Yeah.
It's a little more streamlined, it's a little sleeker and stuff like that. But I don't think this one translates to toy as well.
Right.
The other one is very toyetic. This
Yep.
one is like, I don't know. Yeah, that one's a little more toyetic than the second one. The second one looks really good in animation.
Yeah.
But it's not as toyetic, I don't think. But I mean, I still really like the design, so I tried my best to make it. And I don't think it turned out horribly, but
I think it looks good. I mean, as always, I think for most toys at this scale, the soft goods is sort of where the only thing that looks, The only thing that I would have, if I had made this, the soft goods would be the only thing I would be dissatisfied with. But that's part of the problem with this scale is soft goods are hard.
Yeah.
So soft goods are not easy just because of how fabric works at this scale.
We have one later, and I think it's in the flip or the slideshow that I did soft goods for, and it's like, oh, I'm so happy with it. But we'll talk about it when we get to it. But I think I might have figured them out finally.
Yeah, Largo, you are 100% correct there. And then really quick,
Yes.
Eldor. Yep, I would like, now that they have a horse, we need some horses, Mattel.
Agreed.
And then you did a classic Adora, and
I did. This one, as soon as I put it out, someone reached out to me and wanted a custom of this. And I actually don't have mine handy, but I think she turned out amazingly. Like, I think she looks spot on. This is, and it's a shame I can't find it because this was like my favorite of that month. I think this might have been the best one I did. Yep.
I'm gonna. This is mine that I made. I need to touch the paint up. I did not store her properly when we moved, but and I just used a WWE Becky Lynch top.
That's all I did
With She-Ra bottom and boots, and then She-Ra head.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually use like a metallic red fingernail polish.
I forget, there was a video where I referenced that you used fingernail polish, and I was like, I would not have thought to do that.
I use nail polish all the time because it sticks, especially because a lot of them are made to work with acrylics, right?
Right.
So they stick pretty well to plastic.
Agreed. But like, I wouldn't think of it because I don't use nail polish.
Yeah. Which again, every time I say it, people look at me like, what? But it's like, it's true. Like, it sticks really well to plastic and with minimal priming as well. So you still have to do a few coats, but any paint that you use, you're gonna have to use a few coats.
Oh yeah.
But you can get a lot of metallics and chrome and, and nail polish. It's not a true chrome, but it's pretty close. So.
Oh yeah. I found one, and actually I did a video. Actually, it's like my best video this year, and it's literally just testing different chrome paint. But I found this one. I forget the website, but it's literally this mirror paint.
Yeah,
it is amazing.
I know a lot of people.
This bottle is $50.
Good paint.
I mean, it works really well, but like, I'm kind of like, do I really want to use it for this project, or can I just use like regular silver? So I'm a little like, but
yeah. And then you did a origin style Adora.
Yep. Which this was kind of like I didn't. This goes back to not really having a plan going in,
right?
But I just kind of wanted to see, like, I had done Queen Marlena. I think it was there last year or the year before. That, like, what if she was an origin style type thing, and kind of used King Randor as like a jumping off point. Like, he's the toy for him is armored up, stuff like that. He's got the head that looks like the cartoon and the same leg and boot colors as cartoon, but other than that, he doesn't look like the cartoon. So it's like, okay, let's use that as a jumping off point and go from there. And so then I kind of took the same idea with this, like, use them as a jumping off point, and like, well, what if Mattel had made it?
Right.
And like, I'm not dissatisfied with it, but same time, like, I don't know, I probably could have done a little more. Some people like this more than the actual one. I am not one of those, but that's okay.
There are a lot of people who prefer sort of the Motu look versus the Filmation look.
Yes.
And that's what it kind of comes down to. I mean, technically, the Mattel look is the original She-Ra without the cape on.
Yeah.
And the crown off, just the skirt and the top.
Which is what is so silly, because it's like, for someone who's supposed to have a secret identity, and then like, it's already like a thin line you're working with anyway.
Right.
But now, like, you're your disguise is a tiara and a cape.
You're right. Well, fun fact is
Well, actually, the tiara is supposed to be a mask, but
yeah, it's supposed to flip. But also the other fun fact is in a lot of the original non-Filmation stuff that came out around the time in 1985 before Filmation really hit. So the stuff Mattel was working on to get product out on shelves, because the movie hit in March, but the show didn't start till September, and they started selling toys in March. And March through May was pretty much just She-Ra and Catra, and then after that, everything else showed up. But in a lot of the original content, it wasn't necessarily like Adora versus She-Ra. It wasn't necessarily a secret identity.
yeah,
Like she just turned into She-Ra to do stuff. Like it was, the story was a little different. Which again, I prefer the Mattel Wave 1 mini comic storylines where like it's not necessarily like she has to run. She turns into She-Ra and then she goes in adventures, and it's not clear that people realize there's a difference.
right.
Which I prefer. Like I think I never liked Prince Adam. I don't like the secret identity component. I get dramatically why it works, but I don't. But I also don't like. I don't prioritize Filmation He-Man.
Right.
Like my preference is Wave 1 mini comic, Savage, He-Man, like Jungle Man. And it's kind of the same with Princess of Power. I prefer that Wave 1 pre-Filmation. And it's a little bit less with She-Ra because of how involved Filmation was with the development of the She-Ra,
Right.
She-Ra and the Horde. But that's my preference. Like, but again, to each other. That's the nice thing about Motu and Princess of Power. There are so many different continuities. You just pick the one you like, and then headcanon your own from what you like and what you don't like. So
it is funny that like, and I've said it many a times that witchy woman. I like that.
yeah,
that. I'm a comic book guy. I was, more in a comic book for a long time. So I kind of use that as a basis for a lot of like the story stuff I think of.
Yeah.
But like DC was like has been and was known for like their multiverse for years. Now everyone kind of has a multiverse.
Yeah.
But Motu kind of like inadvertently has become like the king of multiverses because it's
it really happened whenever DC did that in the mid to 2010s when they did their Masterverse.
Well, even before that, you figured the original mini comics is a different continuity than the DC comics that came out in the 80s. Well, then the mini comics from then after changed also to where that's a different continuity, and then you have the Filmation stuff, which is a different continuity. And then you have, the 90s stuff, which was supposed to be like a sequel, but was very clearly not. So like, that's a different continuity.
And then the movie is a different story. And
the movie. So now in 8 years, you got probably 8 continuities already. And that's before you get to 2000X. That's before you get to Classics. Yeah. That's before you get to Origins or Masterverse or the new Netflix shows or Princesses of Power or even Princess of Power to begin with.
Yep.
So like they kind of inadvertently, like almost anything that comes out from Motu is like its own continuity.
Well, I think this is lost, I think, on even people who were around for it. Just because, when you grow up in it, you don't necessarily think about it, but it was in the 1980s where suddenly continuity, like comic books, for instance, continuity was really lax. And it wasn't until, say, the Silver Age that started changing. When they especially DC, when they reintroduced the heroes, like there was no Earth 1, Earth 2. It was just we reintroduced all these heroes, right? And it was easier because before the Justice League, with the Justice Society gone anyway, it was easier. Yeah, and people didn't buy back issues, so there weren't kids, like 10-year-olds who were buying the Flash when he relaunched in the Silver Age and Showcase. Did not know that there had been Jay Garrick like 10, 15 years before, right?
Right.
They didn't know that there had been a Justice Society, so when the Justice League happened, they were just like, "Oh, this is cool. This is different." It was older readers who remembered, or you would find comic books that had survived, because most of the Golden Age books got recycled as part of the war effort, which is why they're rare and expensive when you do find them.
And they were also, with the comics code and stuff like that, you had mass burnings.
Yeah, they were mass. So, there are a lot of reasons why Golden Age books are worth more. Through like the 70s, because they people didn't hold on to them. So it's, but again, for sort of, if you were born like say 65 to 85, it's a little different because we were born at a time where you saved comics, where suddenly because of cable and home video, you could go back and rewatch stuff. That's really when continuity and fandoms anyway became this force that it is now. So like when Mattel was originally doing Masters of the Universe, they just needed to sell toys. So it was like, we're going to do these storybooks. Kids will buy them, read them. It'll sell books. It doesn't need to match Filmation. There was some effort toward the end to sort of line stuff up a little bit more, but it wasn't a priority. It wasn't until sort of Gen X and millennials hit that spot in the 90s where all of a sudden Power of the Force 2 happened. And you suddenly have all these adult collectors. You have comic books sort of weaving everything together, that all of a sudden continuity became important. So like when people are like, oh, it's like it wasn't an issue before. It's an issue because we're all persnickety.
Yes. Well, also like, and to kind of speak to that point, like I think continuity actually started mattering with Marvel, with the Marvel resurgence of the early 60s. Like until then, it was like, they were definitely written for kids. And so it was like each issue was kind of its own thing. Yeah. And even not only that, but each issue had multiple stories in it. And you have stories in there that contradicted each other because like it didn't matter. Like it could be this time or that time or whatever. This person went on this adventure, did this thing, and each story was wrapped up in 8 to 10 pages.
Yeah. And at the end, it had to reset. So the next issue, everything was status quo.
Exactly. Where nowadays, and I think this kind of started in the 80s with Crisis on Infinite Earths when they tried to streamline the continuity and stuff like that. Yeah. But then now you start getting arcs. And so like you'd have a writer or a creative team come on. And sorry, guys, we went comic books for a second. My fault. Bear with me. You had creative teams that have come on, and now it kind of seems like instead of each issue you get back to the status quo by the end of it, it's like each arc. So like you have a writer and an artist come on and they like break the continuity of whatever, redo this, but then by the time they leave, everything's back the way it was. Yeah. And so the next writer comes on, he breaks everything again, and then they put it back together. And that has kind of become the trend, which I don't know if I necessarily like, but, and I'm not really sure how we got about this, but I told you I'm a comic book guy. I'm reading comic books in a heartbeat. By accident, and I'm sorry.
Really quick, CJ, She-Ra was not in Motu audio dramas, but she did have her own German audio dramas.
So they didn't connect in Germany?
Mm-mm. I mean, like beyond Secret of the Sword, right? But other than that, they didn't overlap.
See, that's so weird to me because, like, to me, they're so intrinsically.
Yeah, and the German audio drama as well for Princess of Power. Katra was. I was talking to Motu Origins Cork, trying to get some guidance on it. Since my German is very, very rusty and very sparse.
Yeah, making it worse.
But like Katra, there's like an evil. I'm maybe mangling this. I apologize because it's been a while since I found my note. But there was like an evil cave with an evil spirit, and Katra works for him and is basically jealous of all the princesses.
Oh, that's why it's the jealous beauty.
Yeah, right. And like she wants Bo and she wants to be friends, and a lot of their adventures is her trying to be their striking out because she can't be their friend. So again, it's a different, those audio dramas were adjusted, even the Masters of the Universe stuff, to meet the sensibilities of German kids and what German storytelling were. So that's also kind of interesting. The United Kingdom had sort of their own continuity in the comics. Really quick, there are some points in here. There are different 80s comics, Star Comics.
There was the Marvel ones. There was,
and then Largo calls out the continuity stuff.
Yes.
And this as well, because Mark Taylor, Prince Adam started as a non-He-Man character. He was like a fop, like an aristocrat.
Mm-hmm.
There are designs for the character where he has this big ridiculous hat and a cape that covers sort of like a sword, and he kind of was supposed to play both sides. Like he sometimes would work with Skeletor, sometimes with He-Man, and it just evolved over time. Yeah, some of them are like at some point Cory and I are working on a project with him that I will be able to get everyone aligned. But with that said, that was a fun digression, but we should go to your next She-Ra, which is 2000X. And mine is over. I have mine that I have never removed from the box, sitting over there. But I did
not have the figure. So I wanted it. Unfortunately, because of the way it sat on my shelf, the sword bent. But oh well. But this one was one that, like, as soon as I saw these boots with the snake Tila came with, it kind of started sparking the idea. But I just really liked the way, like, she looked as soon as I saw her. And, like, when I was planning the She-Ra month, she was one of the first ones that I had on that list. That was like, oh, I need to make it. And then I got the opportunity to actually get myself one.
There we go. Oh, I was just grabbing mine. There we go.
And like, I didn't do too bad. I mean, I didn't go as detailed with the sword and stuff like that. But like, for an Origins version of this, I think I did okay. Yeah, no, it's pretty good. Like, I'm happy with her. Like, I think she turned out awesome.
She looks pretty good. Yeah. I just grabbed mine. I'm gonna open mine up in a couple weeks. For the end of the year, I hope to have my 5.5 She-Ra history video done.
Nice.
We'll see. Okay, we checked that one. And then Rowdy is welcome back, Rowdy Riles. Lovely to see you.
She's awesome too. We've actually gotten to meet in person too. She's not far from me.
She's one of my favorite people doing Toy Tube. So
yes, she is. She's from DC. She is.
Have you seen? I know this is your episode, but have you seen her video that she made where she explains Marvel Secret Wars with action figures?
No.
You should go to her channel and watch that. She also has other great videos, but that's when I went to her channel to watch it, and I was like, oh, somebody's doing content I would do if I were into Marvel.
I saw her Wolverine one explaining why we haven't gotten the perfect Wolverine action figure. Yeah. Really good and really in depth, and I loved it.
Not at all, Largo. And with me and Cory, and part of this is just me and Cory catching up and talking.
Yes.
And enjoying Cory's work. Very cool. And achievable in 2000X, the cartoon collection, because it doesn't need a lot of new parts.
No, she doesn't.
They'll be able to reuse Tila, and actually they could reuse the Filmation cartoon collection torso. So, and then you did a faker She-Ra. She-Ra does not have a proper faker.
Yes.
The closest she has is they made a golem of her that transformed into a different woman. So
this was based on Axel Jimenez's concept art, and I do really like it. The thing is that eventually I want to make like an actual She-Ra faker, because like the whole thing with faker is like he's the Skeletor version of He-Man.
Right.
Right. So he's got Skeletor's skin tone and Skeletor's armor, but then different colors. Well,
Right.
that doesn't really. This doesn't really take that translation real well. Like when I did Phony, when I created Phony, I kind of did that where it's like I made them so that it's the Skeletor version of He-Man. No, the He-Man version of Skeletor.
Right.
So it's got He-Man's skin tone and He-Man's armor in different colors. And so, and anyone who hasn't seen this, this was like the second or third custom I did on my channel. And like I've done a lot of phonies. It's become one of my favorites.
And for a She-Ra faker, it would need to be either Hordak or Catra would make it.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Which, as far as Hordak goes, Despara, in my opinion, fills that category, I think.
Kind of, yeah.
Except it's still She-Ra, but there are ways that they could clone her, they can make a robot, stick it in the Despara costume.
Well, now we've gotten at the time we hadn't gotten Catra yet.
Yeah,
she had been announced, I think, but we had not actually gotten her yet. So now that there's a Catra, like you could literally just take Catra stuff, do a different color on it, and do She-Ra up in it, and then it would kind of work as like that's her faker. But I don't know. I do agree with you that the Spar kind of fills that. But I do think it was like
as far as Hordak. And again, this is the problem with the different continuities because in Filmation, Hordak is her arch enemy. In the toy line, Catra is the arch enemy. So we'll talk about that later because I've got ideas, but we'll save those for stuff. Anyway, she's super cool. And then you did Anti-Eternia She-Ra.
Anti-Etheria.
Anti-Etheria, right. How did you do the I watched the video months and months ago, so remind me how you did the crown.
Oh, so that is this is I think the video where I mentioned you using nail polish because the glittery black is nail polish.
Okay, cool.
Because that was the easiest way to get it, and I'm like, I could try like finding paper and cutting it out and this and that and blah blah. And I think I even tried using like vinyl or something like that. And it wasn't working. I'm like, you know what? I went and found some nail polish at the store and just did that. It took like 4 or 5 coats.
Yeah.
To get it to work, but it did work. And like this was the first one that came out that month, and I'm super happy with it.
Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah. So I think she translated that very well. And it was like Mattel, talk about an easy repaint.
Right.
Like I know you still got that mold. You just put the fan favorite one, like do it up in different colors and you could do a whole 2 waves, Mattel, of Anti-Eternia people, and they would probably sell. Yeah. Like all the customs that have been made of Anti-Eternia and Anti-Etheria people.
At one point, when they had us vote for the first fan choice, which was the mini comic Triclops, Anti-Eternia Man at Arms was one of them. So at some point they had considered doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know why they haven't.
We never got it, but
like, and that wave of figures did not really last at stores. So
yeah.
Yeah, I'm pro Eternia myself. I'm very much about not consuming the flesh of other people. So for that reason, I'm pro.
Lee is another one that is local to me. I've met him on multiple occasions because he goes to a lot of the cons around here, and I just saw him again at Legion's Con last weekend. I've gotten a lot of heads from him, and I've done videos on him and stuff like that. So anyone who needs a custom head, or I think he does custom feet and armor and stuff like that too, hit him up on Instagram at Lee Customs. He does amazing work.
I've got, as soon as, again, I'm so close to being set up. It's where I can do customs again. I've got all sorts of purchases I bought from Lee over the year on eBay back before any of us were on YouTube. Right when Origins first hit, I bought tons of stuff from Lee on the internet through eBay. And then I have one of his Queen Marlena kits. Well, it's not a kit anymore because I put the figure together. And once I have room, I'm gonna he's got newer stuff that I need to own. So once
I
once
I
we
don't
got
know if he's
through,
going to Motuniverse or not. I hope he
yeah,
is, because there's a lot of people out there that would benefit from knowing.
that would be a
Lee.
really well, like that's across the country for Lee. So
Oh yeah, well, I mean, he's not that far from me.
and then you did Horde Prime.
I did. This was another one that was like, well, this would be not too hard to do, and I kind of want other stuff to round out the She-Ra month, and like he just looks cool, like he just does. A buddy of mine, I ended up giving this to a buddy of mine because his favorite colors are red and black, and like it. A lot of these are like, some of them are ones that I want, but some of them it's like, this would be really cool to make. And then once I make it, I don't really need it. Like the fun was making it. And so like ones like this, that was like, I don't really have an emotional connection to. It was just like, this looked really cool. So then it's like, if someone reached out and was like, hey, are you selling that? Or, hey, are you doing whatever with it? I probably would. But yeah.
Hello, Paul Morales. And Lee, you're most welcome. Like, at some point when I can get my ducks in a row, I will drag you on here for some Saturday, and we'll have you show off your stuff, and we'll geek out.
Yeah, please do.
And this is one of my favorite things you have made since the last time you were here. I know people hated it. I hated the first part and like the second. I liked all of the Revelation stuff because I like characters to actually grow, but I really let me rephrase. I did not like how CGI this looked in the cartoon. It looked a little too computer generated. And what I really but I liked the design. It just felt too computerized the way they did it. What I liked is because you made it physical, it looks so much cooler to me. Anyway, off my soapbox about CGI stuff.
You're good. This was kind of a sequel, I'm gonna say, to the concept Castle Grayskull had done before that a few months ago, or a few months earlier, and it was really well received. And I was like, I had seen that Castle Grayskull on the show, and I was like, I really like the way this looks. And so I was like, this wouldn't be too hard, and it was fun to do. Mega J has requested that I bring this to Motuniverse to show it off, because a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, this is awesome!" And now really cool. Get to California. But yeah, it is. It was fun, and finding that glowing wire was helpful. I think I found that from Evan and Caitlin on YouTube. They did some stuff with it. I was hoping it was going to be brighter, and so for it to work, you kind of have to have like the lights almost off, because otherwise it just looks neon.
And really quick, hello, welcome. Let me see if there we go. It's almost over and it's looking up.
Right.
Also, everyone, the link in the chat is the video to this particular playset. So you guys can go check it out later at your leisure. Again, this is one of you've done a lot of obviously great stuff I like, but I was really, I like when you do playsets.
Well, I'll tease something here, and I don't think I've talked about this anywhere else. I have acquired the stuff to make an ultimate Grayskull.
Ooh.
Like, it's going to be bigger. It's going to fold more. It's kind of inspired by like real castles.
Yeah.
I don't know which one. And if you give me a second, I'll try to find it. It's one I think in Scotland that I found. And I'm like, oh, that would be really cool. But yeah, so I kind of got the idea, and like I literally have everything I need. It's just like kind of intimidating now because it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 play sets to kind of cut apart and start stitching together in different ways. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was super.
Both.
I mean, you did you did sort of more of the concept Castle Grayskull ish.
This one's kind of going to be my inspiration.
And oh, okay. I'm gonna embiggen you.
I'm kind of using that as inspiration. So it's not going to look exactly like that, but I'm kind of using that and kind of working back, if that makes sense.
That's really cool. And then you also did the Jungle Adventure set. Quite some time. It seems like
that was, I think, 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago. But that I'm just saying there are a lot of cool play sets on your channel for people who haven't watched your stuff yet. So
that one, I totally ended up doing a different way than I planned on. I planned on like vacuum forming it, and I made the mold and stuff like that. And then it was like the way I was going to heat up the plastic and stuff like that didn't work. And so like no one ever saw that. And so it was like, I'll do paper mache, which I'd never done before. And so, but it worked out.
And then I'm dropping that one as well for everyone because that's one of my favorite things. One of my all-time favorite things you've done. So
thank you.
And that's on my list of things to make at some point.
Yeah, that was just a Snake Mountain half, and then if you want to see a really, really good jungle play set, and I don't know if he's finished it yet, but Eldor was working on one. And
I don't think he's finished it yet. So I need to, at some point, I'm going to get Eldor on here. I've had him to color, but I haven't had him on here to show off his amazingness.
Yeah.
We will do that, though. Now that life is calming somewhat, I've got more bandwidth. Speaking of She-Ra stuff, you also did a 2000X New Adventures in Origins. And that's the next slide is the He-Man as well.
This was one that I had seen this. I did not really. So to be clear, I did not know Classics was even a thing until Classics was almost over or over. I totally missed Classics. But then going back and seeing it, when I found the design artwork from, I think Axel did it, and I really loved the way it looked. And then I saw they actually made a figure of it, and I'm like, oh, that looks even cooler. And so then I was like, nope, I have to make this. And so if the 2000X one was the first one on that list for She-Ra Month, this was gonna be the second one. But then I ended up making her and him. I think they ended up being like the first videos this year.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have a soft spot in my heart for the New Adventures He-Man. A lot of people didn't like it, and like I've gone back and watched it now, and I totally understand why people didn't like it. But when you're like 7 and 8, like it was, I just wanted more He-Man. You know what I mean? And that power sword was my power sword for a long time, like with the sounds and all that. Like so. Yeah, I was really happy with them.
There's some people who are just, are not fun. So, yeah, I don't know. Mine's not over there. I'm still working. I'm literally this week working on the Princess of Power Classics and Masterverse Princess of Power and all the pop modern stuff, basically. So.
I have another New Adventures He-Man that I'm going to be working on hopefully today or tonight, but this week. Ooh. Based on someone else's custom. I found it online and I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. Can I make it? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. Which, by the way, people, if you're going to make customs of other people's customs, that is totally fine. Get their permission.
Yeah, especially if it's an original concept.
Always. Always credit the original artist. If you give credit, you can get away with a lot of stuff as long as you give credit.
Pay attention, Mattel.
Yes.
Just because you own it doesn't mean we don't pay attention.
Right.
And then, of course, the next one I had was the.
This one was probably one of the easier ones because, like, we had kind of already gotten the figure in the 4-pack, and then once it's been on sale, it was like, okay, well, I just have to modify this and make the boots a little better, make the harness a little better, and that was it. Like, other than that, it was the same. I cut off the ponytail because the toy didn't have the ponytail. But then, like, the more I thought about it, like, and sitting here looking at it, I still agree that I probably could have just used Duplico's head because he very much looks like that He-Man. And for a long time, I thought it was the same He-Man head until I actually got a Duplico. And I was like, well, no, it's different enough, but it would work.
Yeah, that's what I had originally thought as well. Whenever Duplico when it first popped up, I'm like, oh, that's. And the original head does look like the original vintage Duplico head sculpt.
Oh, yeah.
Except the original Duplico had a mullet. So it was really odd that the toy Duplico did not have the mullet, but whatever.
Which is another reason why I was like, oh, well, it's got to be the same head. Like, that's why I didn't have it. Like, they just went with what they already had, but they didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Heads must be really easy for them, really cheap for them to make because that's like the only thing we get more of, which I get because like the head kind of changes everything. But I don't know, it just feels like, and to be fair, with Origins, they've kind of made it so it's a little more modular too. Like you can change out the heads or the hair a little easier. But it doesn't seem like they really take advantage of that as much as they should. I don't know. Soapbox, sorry.
No, that's fine. I was double checking. Yeah, Duplico was. It almost looks like they were like, no, this isn't going to work for He-Man. It's not. And then you made a dinosaur.
I did. He's right here. Give me a second.
All right.
Unfortunately, his guns have not been the most sturdy, but he very quickly became one of my favorites. And I was reaching out to you and Oz about this while I was making it because I was originally going to paint it like this and do all the silver bits silver. But as soon as I painted this whole thing green, I was like, oh my God, that's it. That's the Origins one. That's it. It looks amazing. And Jess and Oz were like, who I got hold of before I got hold of Allison. We're like, no, you should go ahead and do the silver because you're gonna miss all that sculpting and stuff like that.
Right.
And I do kind of agree after I painted it, but when it was just painted green, it looked like the vintage one so much. Yeah. But I actually AJ actually did an article on this. Or no, it wasn't AJ, it was Michael from Toy Habits, sorry.
Yeah.
AJ did the Netflix He-Man. Yeah, so Grayskull. He did an article on it, which is weird too. Getting like mentioned by articles, like that is a new thing for me. I was like, yes, absolutely. Right. This one I was really proud of, so I kind of reached out to people.
Right.
But yeah, I'm really happy with him. I'm hoping to do the other dinosaurs soon. But he wasn't as well received as I thought he was going to be. Like, again, the people who saw it, but like, I don't know. I thought it was going to be like a really, really successful video. And it was kind of like just average, but you never know. Like, that's the weird thing about YouTube is like the ones that are going to be, that are hits are ones that like you thought of at the last minute, took you 1 day or 2 hours to do. You put it out and it's like, nobody's going to watch this, and everyone watches it.
Or sometimes a year later, people start watching it. And then suddenly you get an extra 100 views.
Right.
I mean, and with Masters of the Universe, I mean, so, you know, like if Mattel announces any of the dinosaurs, you'll probably get
Oh
some
yeah.
that way. So it's yeah, it's weird. I don't know. YouTube is an inch. I mean, if you're not doing clickbait or whatever, rage bait, you're not going to get pushed as much until somebody specifically is looking for the thing.
And like that's one of those things that like this is the problem with having a conscience is that
Right.
like I don't mind clickbait if it is honest. But when it's like the very, very thinnest thread of honesty in there,
Yeah.
and it's like this has nothing to do with what I saw. I don't like that. I don't like deceiving my viewers. I try to be as upfront and honest, which is why, like from the get, I've always showed like my mistakes and when I fuck something up or whatever. Like because, like the whole point is to inspire other people. And one of the things I love the most is when I get a comment and someone's like, "I just saw this. You've really inspired me. Now I want to make my own." Blah blah blah. I love that. Like that is the point. Is not to show off and stuff like that. The point is I want to give other people ideas. I want to show other people, hey, you can do this too. Like I don't have I have fancy tools, but I don't use most of them anymore. Like I'm using a bandsaw that was $100 on Amazon, and then everything else is stuff that like I think the most expensive thing is like Milliput, and that's not that expensive for $10.
Right.
That it's like paint brushes and like and craft foam, which is cheap. Like the whole thing is I just want people to try and have fun doing it because it's so much fun when you try doing it.
Well, some people's children, as my mother used to say. And then we have this.
This is one that now with the sketchbook series, I think we're gonna eventually get one of them. But this was one that like I think this was kind of a last minute thing where it was like I needed a video. I think I had started on it and then never finished it and then lost the stuff, and so then I started over. But I'm super happy with how he turned out. I wish I had better feet because I just painted my feet with glow in the dark stuff versus like the actual glow in the dark plastic.
Yeah.
So like when the lights are on, he doesn't match real well, but when the lights are off, he looks a little. You can't really tell. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I just really like this design. And a lot has come out about it since that it wasn't actually supposed to be Skeletor.
Yeah, it was just
a lot of people thought it was like an early concept, but Mark Taylor just kind of used that pose for like a bunch of different characters, such as Demo Man and stuff like that.
Well, and it makes sense. I mean, again, you and I both do. We both draw, so like art that isn't paper art. Drawing. Like
when you're just doing concepts, it like I've done.
I do it all the time.
Where it's like you just make like a rough model sheet or whatever, and then that way you can add designs to it without having to draw the figure.
Mark Taylor would have also had a light box because that was one of the quickest ways, especially if you're doing commercial art.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Or like professional art, and like at a toy company, you get your solid model and then you throw that down and then turn your light box on, throw some paper over it, trace, and then use that to do your, because it wasn't like now, like you get a nice clean copy and you just print out 17 copies or whatever.
Absolutely.
But Xerox was not cheap or easy back in the day. So, and Lee just wants you to know that that's dope.
Thank you, Lee.
And then CJ, you will, and you especially because CJ also creates
very cool
things. So
CJ, she calls me the Hey Oz. CJ, she calls me the MacGyver of customs because apparently, I think in her own words, I pull some shit out of my ass.
And then tapes and what have you.
But yeah, he was fun to make, and I think that was one of the last ones I made last year. I think that was right after the Slime Pit He-Man. I think I followed it up with this. I think
so. And of course, speaking of Slime Pit He-Man, there you are.
This was so anyone who has not seen this video, I totally tore apart an Origins figure. All the joints, everything, and recast it. The only thing I did not recast was the boots and the hips. And this took a couple tries because, in case anyone's unaware, I'm not a professional sculptor or molder. So I had air bubbles and stuff like that, and so I had to redo it the second time, then getting stuff to fit. But I mean, I'm happy with the way it turned out. He does not stand real great because, you know, the resin is slightly gummy. I mean, it's cured all the way. It's not like it's not cured gummy. It's gummy as in the resin I use is kind of soft, which for this kind of thing is a good thing. But if it was just a little harder, it would work a little better. But I'm super happy with the way he turned out. I want to do a Origins one, not of this, but just a clear He-Man. And I know people have done this forever, but no one ever does like a how-to on it. And so one of these days, I'm going to do a how-to on how to make a clear He-Man.
All right. And then, is this one also glow in the dark, or is this?
No, it is. This is the Skeletor
from
the first video that we were talking about. This was like the first one I put out. It was the last one I put out last year. The 1 day customs or whatever. This one ended up becoming the new version of Skeletor. And I think we got that on the list too.
Yeah, he should be coming up.
Yeah, I think I ended up using him to make Night Terror Skeletor's wife. And I think I called him Night Terror Skeletor and Neon Power He-Man because I thought that was very 80s sounding.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. There we go. And then you made
that one. I don't even know where that one is. I love this one. Like, this is one that was when we got the what is it called? The Battle of Eternia.
Yeah.
This guy was teased, and he just looked so awesome. And it's like, you know what? This is all parts we already have. Yeah. Every single piece of this is something we already have. And literally, the only thing I had to do was pop and swap stuff for the boots and paint the cape. And I think that's all I had to do. And everything else was like already done. I just had to get it from like 7 different figures.
Right. Yeah, it's at least like I see 2000X Skeletor.
Yes.
The skeleton pack. One of the Turtles of Grayskull. He-Man in disguise for the cloak.
2000X Skeletor.
Yeah.
Where was Viper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was. But this one was one that was like, this is the best analogy I can give you for one that didn't take that long. Like, I think this whole video took a day and a half, and like people loved it. It did.
It's really cool.
And it was like, this is the one that does really good.
People like skeletons. People like skeletons.
Yep.
But when it's a kit bash with just a little bit of painting, it's also going to do well because
it's much more.
I think, most people can manage that. So, and then speaking of,
yep, that's the Night Terror Skeletor. So the one 2 slides ago, I think that body became this one. It's everything's exactly the same. The only thing I did is on this one I used I modified armor and made my own. I used the loincloth from 2000X Skeletor. The cape from Masterverse. I think it was New Eternia.
Yeah.
So, and then kind of modified it. I literally cut the face off of Scareglow and attached it into a hood. So that way all the glow in the dark maxed.
Yeah.
And I think he turned out way better. I'm super happy with this. And he is on top of that Castle Grayskull, the one you like back there where he lives, along with Neon Power He-Man, which I think is next.
I think we have another Skeletor first.
We'll find out.
Well, sort of a Skeletor. We've got.
So this is the one. This one just came out a couple weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, it was pretty recent.
And this is the one that, like, I was talking about that, like, I sewed this cape from scratch, and I was like, I don't know how this is going to work, but I am super happy with it, and I think it turned out perfectly. I used a pattern from Toy Ploy, and just modified it, but I was kind of inspired to do the cape from Buddy, my buddy's customs, because he's always doing.
Bud does
him and Toy Tinker. They both do really good soft goods, and so I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure I can make this work. And this is another one where I think it's Axel's design. It was on a I guess it was a poster or print for Preternia characters, and I reached out to Adam, and I'm like, Adam, who is this? And he's like, well, technically that's supposed to be Keldor.
Yeah.
Like, what? And then I'd forgotten about the Lords of Dragnor.
Lords of Power / Legends of Dragonor.
Yeah. That I was like, oh yeah, that is the same character. Yeah. It's just different, slightly different armor and different colors.
Yeah, that was the character.
But that Oz was the one who pointed that out to me. It was like, that's Durlock or whatever his name is.
Yeah, after the cease and desist from Mattel.
Yes. But yeah, I just thought he looked so cool, and I'm super happy with the way he turned out.
No, he looks really good.
And basically just a bunch of Skeletor parts, cut apart and glued to Prince Adam's harness. Yeah. Nice.
I was wrong. We also have.
You're good.
Gorpo. Is that
the unnamed one? This was one that was from Classics.
Yeah.
Again, when I saw him, I was just like, this guy just looks really cool. Like, and this is another one that was not real hard to do. It was just taking a Orko and kind of modifying it. Like, I just cut apart his skirt or whatever, the bottom of him. I just cut it on the bandsaw and then added pouches and added foam. Did some sculpting with Milliput. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way he turned out.
He looks really good. And this is one of those characters that when he first hit in Classics, in which you weren't around for.
No.
But people were really angry because he was like, you would get like a bonus secret figure.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was Gorpo, the unnamed one, and people were mad. Like,
why?
There are a lot of things to be mad about at Scott Nutlick about, but this was not one of them. I thought, this is my personal opinion. Don't at me. But my personal opinion was, it was Gorpo A was Orko's original name, so it's a fun way. And the unnamed one never happened, so we never knew. So this was just that's one of the things I did like about Classics. And one of the things I think Nutlick did right with that line was that he really did draw from everywhere and did try to give every character who ever mentioned or appeared, he did try to get everyone in that toy line. So I definitely can. And I like that, this is, the Horsemen didn't really have anything to go on. They were just given sort of the ideas and what it was, and this is what they came up with. I think it's pretty cool. So, anyway, I'm sorry for anyone who I mean, I don't usually
Did you
defend.
see Pastel Goth? I love it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like he listens to The Cure, Kate Bush, but then he puts on a little and some Depeche Mode because he just can't get enough, and then he puts in some Bananarama. And now Neon Glow He-Man.
Neon Power He-Man. Yeah, this is so this was I had the idea for the Skeletor first.
Yeah.
And wanted a counterpart to him. And originally I was gonna go with like Sun Power He-Man or something like that. And I was gonna do like some reflective paint, like that use like retro reflective or whatever. But like I tested that out and it kind of very quickly looked really cheesy.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that won't work. And so then I kind of was like, well, like what else could I do? And I kind of thought of what would be the most 80s thing from the 80s. And
right.
Like, neon. You don't get much more 80s than neon. Like, and so it's like Neon Power He-Man. Like the fact that they didn't do that is probably
right.
I would not be surprised if it's on the cutting room floor somewhere of Mattel. That
right.
it was probably a thought, if nothing else. But like I was happy with them. I thought it was cool. I thought it was fun. It ended up being real easy. It's just Ultimate Warrior boots, John Cena arms, and I don't remember. Oh, it's the John Cena harness too. I just painted it. The loincloth is from the CGI He-Man from the 4-pack. But yeah.
He's really cool. I like him. I like him a lot. And really quick, because I brought this up. This is my fault. My apologies. I actually agree with it. I kind of like that Origins, like, we got a mini comic Chop Jaw, and it's just Chop Jaw. Whereas in Classics, Nutlick did this interview where he said he had planned, because originally the concept that became Chop Jaw came from Big Jim, and it was like Iron Jaw, I believe was the name.
Yep.
I don't have my so he was going to do the mini comic Chop Jaw as Iron Jaw and create an entire concept, like a whole story and bring it in. And I think sometimes you just let it be you just re-release you just refresh the figure with different deco, and the fans can make their own canon for it.
Oh, yeah.
So I think the over elaboration and the cartwheels and the gymnastics to make everything fit into a solid cohesive story is the problem, because there's no way to really do that when there's 17 different continuities, and Mermista never would have decapitated Merman. So anyway, that's all I got to say.
I also think part of that is like, if you want to give someone different colors, like if you want to be real realistic about it, how often do people walk out of the house every day in the exact same thing?
Yeah, right.
People would have different outfits. Like for He-Man to have 3 different looks or 4 or 5 different looks is not that uncommon. Like that's actually surprising that he only had that many. Like he would have all kinds of armor and all kinds of things, like especially with someone like Man-at-Arms who's constantly making and inventing. Like that totally makes sense to me. That would be cool. Agreed, Lee. All right, let's see what is next. Oh, here we go. This one was sort of a collaboration on your part. Yes. So, Mega Custom X does a lot of very, very cool 3D modeling, and he offers them to his patrons for free. I think you can buy them from him as either prints that he'll print out for you, or he'll paint them for a little more and stuff like that. But as soon as I saw this head and sword that he did, I was like, nope, I need to make this. The only thing is we don't have a whole lot to go on, because this pose right here is all we've really gotten, other than a little bit from the front. And so like you don't really know what the front signal looks like and stuff like that. So it's like I even say in the video, like I'm just doing a real basic one, and if need be, I can come back and redo it when we get a final look at it. But this was also kind of a sequel. I made a Prince Adam based on the one, and that was a kind of like a collaboration with Toy Tinkerer.
Yeah.
Where both of us made one, like who could make it the quickest, and it was kind of an unintentional challenge from him, like because he was just kind of saying it funnily, like who's they dropped a picture, who's gonna make the custom first? And I'm like, that sounds like a challenge. He's like, I'm down. And literally he I think technically had his done first, but he didn't post it first. So like it depends on how you want to look at it at who won that. But that was fun too. So this was kind of like a sequel to that.
That's really cool. And then this one is fun.
This was Jess loves Medusa. Jess was one of her nicknames in high school was Medusa because she has very curly hair.
Yeah.
And it's toned down with age, but people will call her Medusa. So she's always liked Medusa. And so she wanted a Medusa action figure. And I was like, I can totally make that work. And this was, just kind of, I had basically all the parts I needed. Especially with that Lady Slither. The hair was the hardest part because I'd used Milliput.
Yeah.
I probably should have used either, foam clay.
Yeah.
Or something like that instead, or made it as a separate part that I could take off. But I didn't, and so I broke a bunch of them, and then I had to fix them, and I think it worked out. But don't forget fragile parts with Milliput, kids.
Or you could get those little rubber snakes and then just cut and glue and mix and match with Milliput.
Yep.
She's really cool. So.
She is. She is actually sitting on our bookshelf in the living room.
And I like that you made it for your wife.
Yep.
It's exciting. And then this is sort of your one. And I think I do think for the year, this is the only sort of it's obviously Origins, but I think this is the only
He-Man
Motu character. Yeah, non-He-Man from this.
I haven't done that many non-Motu characters. I've only done, I think, 4.
Yeah, you did Ukla from
I did who?
Ukla from
oh yes. Okay, yeah. I forgot about them. Okay. So I've done 6. Because I did Thundar and Ukla.
Yeah.
And then I did Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and now Nightwing. But Nightwing's my favorite. Like Nightwing is one of my, if not my favorite comic book character.
Right.
And my favorite comment from this was, I don't remember the guy's name. So if you're watching, I'm sorry. But he commented and he's like, excuse me, did you just hand paint his logo on his chest? And I'm like, yeah, was I not supposed to? He's like, no, I would have had to use a stencil and this and that. I'm like, no, you go in there, you make it, you do it rough, get the right colors, and then you cut in very softly with the black. And I don't know, I think he turned out really well. It was really very, very easy to do because we have so many black parts in Origin already. Yeah. And that Casey Jones head, as soon as I saw it, I was like, this is Nightwing.
It's pretty perfect.
Like, I might need to make a Batgirl.
Oh, yeah. Batgirl would be really good.
Yeah.
And you could use the original Origin She-Ra. That head with the longer hair and then the cowl on top of it. And if you can find one of the Mattel superhero girls, there was a Batgirl who had a removable cowl.
Oh,
that would it would need a little bit of play or some such little milliput in it to make it like snug. But you could work, and then you could put some stitching and stuff on it if you want it. Well, actually, no, because this is just straight up. So yeah, you could pretty much use that and just. Anyway, yeah. And then I'm pretty sure we are. Let me double check, because it's almost time for me to go have some dinner, and then we can all reconvene later on Clubhouse. But I like to end with your original creation, because you've done some great customs of Phony this year.
Yeah.
And Big in You, because this is your classics.
This is Masterverse.
Masterverse, okay.
This is the only Masterverse custom I've made. I'm not real big into Masterverse. Like, I don't have a problem with them, but I'm Origins. That's what I mainly do. But I have a feeling that the way they're going, the Masterverse ones might end up outlasting Origins, so I might need to start. So, but this was one that was super easy to do once we got the Zodak and the Skeletor. And I did do the tape deck in there out of resin, but you can't really tell after you put the armor on.
Right.
But, yeah, I'm super happy with them. That mirror paint that I was talking about is the paint I used in the face. You can tell it's super creamy.
That looks really good.
Yeah, I'm super happy with him. And then he sits on my faker shelf next to all my other fakers.
He is cool. And then you did a vintage style.
This was this was literally one of those day of type things where I'd gotten a box of parts for mainly for making the Fierta T figures.
Yeah.
In vintage from Oz, who I think got it from Curtis Ackerman, but I'm not positive. But Oz was like, look, I'm not going to use these. Do you want them? I'm like, sure, I'll take them.
Right.
And so I did. And I still have them. But in it, I had, a bunch of other random parts. And it was an extra Skeletor head and a Zodak body. And I'm like, well, I've already been looking for this stuff. I might as well make a vintage one. And so I did. And it didn't take too long. It was really just getting the head on and repainting everything and printing out a tape deck sticker. And that was it. And so now I've literally got one in Origins, Vintage, and Masterverse. I'm going to have to get around to making a Classics one soon.
Yeah, that's funny. That just tells you the sort of where Masterverse is, because I obviously haven't watched that video yet. But I'm still behind.
Well,
I will sit out on days and watch 7 to 10 videos at once.
I think I put out almost more videos than I did. How many have I put out this year? Give me a second. I'm sorry.
Oh, you've done pretty well this year.
I'm close to putting out more than I did the previous years, if I haven't already passed it. I haven't yet. I've put out 65 videos this year.
Nice.
Last year I did 71, but I've already passed my views and my watch hours from last year. I have not passed my subscribers. Although, if I remember correctly, when I came on last year, I had not gotten anywhere close to passing my subscribers. And I think I said then that, well, I'm probably not going to get as many this year, blah, blah. And I ended up doing better. I think it was only by like 5, but still. So maybe history will repeat itself. But we'll see. But I've made more money this year than I have previous years, which is cool. So I say I've made more money. I've made like $500.
Well, that's YouTube for you.
6, I think, something like that.
And we are to the end of the slides, which we're at 2 hours and 14 minutes, which I think is a record for us.
Yeah, no, I think we usually
actually getting through the slides. So let's see. We got through everything in a timely manner. Now I'm like, how do we end this besides, oh my God, we've gone for 30 hours. So really quick, I am going to send, yes, New Adventures phony.
Oh,
That would be really cool.
that's a good call.
And then Workhorse is custom.
CGI one too. I want to make a CGI faker. So
Yeah.
in doing that, I would have the extra parts to make a CGI. So I
and
might
really quick, you need to add that to your banner under the MacGyver of custom, the Workhorse of custom. And CJ is a fan, so
thank you so much.
And really quick, everyone, this is the link on, again, I've already sent you over there a couple times, but this is your most recent video. I used parts from 3 figures to make 1 figure not seen since classics. We're not going to tell you who it is. Go watch the video.
You know, the sad thing is that I make so many that I don't remember what it is.
I feel pretty confident I can guess who it is because
which one is it?
well, you have in the thumbnail, you've got King Randor, Flying Fist.
Oh yeah, he's right here. I got it. Yep, it is right here.
Yeah,
I'm like,
so but let's not tell them and let everyone go watch and figure out. But it's cool.
That tells you how many that I'm either thinking about making,
right,
in the process of making, or have already made. That's like, wait, which one is this?
Right. No, it makes sense. So yeah, go watch that. What do we have to look forward in the next few weeks from Make, Shape, Create?
Well, I'm going to be making another New Adventures He-Man. That is actually what I plan on making starting on during Clubhouse. Again, I don't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but I found a New Adventures He-Man that had laser power armor, and it's all done in neon. And I'm like, oh, this looks amazing. And reached out to the people. They're like, nope, you want to make it? Go right ahead. So I'm going to try to make my own version of that. I think that's what I'm working on tonight, but I'm not positive. Sometime I'm doing that Ultimate Grayskull. I want to do a best She-Ra, which I'm going to try to figure out how to do my own rooted hair. That's pretty much what I got right now. I'm working on another He-Man, Eternia Power He-Man that is also someone else's idea.
Yeah.
Kind of captured my imagination.
I'm
working really hard on it, and then like I kind of hit a roadblock, and now I'm kind of trying to work my way out of it. So
you're gonna
don't die on us.
Yeah, right. Made it to the end and then died. Sorry about that. I was just like, you're gonna do your own rooted hair.
I'm gonna try to. Yes.
Okay, when you go to do that, let me know. If you're gonna do like a regular action figurehead, right?
I'm going. My plan right now is I haven't figured out which one. I'm planning on either using one of the 2 She-Ras.
Okay.
And removing the hair from it, and then rooting hair into it. And I just found like these are hair piece extensions that clip in, and I just figured I'd use it.
Cool.
And then I can kind of cut it to length after.
That's how when you root hair, you just sew it in or plug it in or whatever, and then trim it once it's all in there. So,
but I got an old vintage She-Ra head and put it on one of those bodies that you and I would get off of eBay.
Yep.
And that kind of worked out really well.
Yeah.
But the skin tones don't 100% match.
They do not.
But it doesn't look bad. But that was kind of like, okay, well, this kind of works, but I think I can do better. I might not do better, but I think I can do better.
Well, if you get I used to reroute. And soon we'll be rerouting again, vintage She-Ra. So, but I never sort of did a rooting from scratch where you have to build it. That channel I was telling you about earlier with the doll things. I will send you that link because I think
that'll probably be helpful.
Yeah, some of the things that she does for rooting hair and whatnot, I think would be helpful for you. Anyway, so everyone, if you haven't gone, you should go and subscribe and watch. I think everyone here either is subscribed or will be.
If you need to find it, it's
Yeah.
youtube.com/makeshitcrate. It's super simple, super easy.
It's
Instagram and Facebook and Blue Sky and Threads as Makeshift Crate. It's real easy.
Excellent. And then definitely you're going to be over on Clubhouse.
Yep, I've already got the link.
I've got it. I'm gonna have to eat dinner and
I gotta go take care of the dog first. So yeah, I might be.
Yeah, I've got cats.
Got like half an hour, 40 minutes till then, but yeah.
But eventually,
yep.
You
are going to Motuniverse next year, right?
That is the plan.
I'm hoping, because I know me and Oz are coming out, and we're looking forward to actually meeting in person.
Yeah, it's May. It's drivable, and it's a 2-day drive from where I am, but it's doable. Yeah, if flying is, if flying remains what flying is right now, I can drive it without.
I think, with the government opening back up, flying should be better.
Let's hope. Anyhow, all right. For the channel, if you haven't yet liked, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I think everyone tonight has been subscribed. I have membership now. Check it out if you'd like to support the channel. There are a couple of options because in this economy. And then I've got shorts this week. There's a Wonder Woman short tomorrow, some Barbie shorts. Next Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I have a Princess Leia Organa figure retrospective, 1978 to 2024, debuting, where I go through my entire collection of every New Hope Princess Leia ever made in 3 3/4 and discuss them. It's like 20-25 minutes of me talking about Princess Leia figures, so please check that out. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will be here with Hallie Geek, and we're going to be coloring some G.I. Joe, and he's already organizing his coloring sets, so it shall be fun. And yeah, and I'm just kidding. I'm not going to grill you, but we will be talking because I've done my research, Mr. Hallie Geek, and yeah. I've got questions that will be fun to answer. So yeah. And I will talk to you soon, all of you. Thank you again for watching. I appreciate you. And there's only one way to properly get out. There's one question that I have to leave you all with every time we get out of here. And have at it. We'll see you again in the next one. Bye.
I haven't made up my mind yet. Incidentally, which one of you bitches is my mother?